The Origins of Political Order by Francis Fukuyama is a comprehensive and thought-provoking examination of the development of political institutions from prehistory to the present. The book aims to understand how political order emerged in different parts of the world and why some societies developed strong institutions while others remained weak. Fukuyama's work explores the historical trajectory of political development and the role of key factors like state formation, rule of law, and accountability in the process of establishing political order. The premise and approach. Fukuyama sets out to answer a fundamental question. Why did some societies manage to create stable and just political systems while others failed to do so? To answer this, he takes an interdisciplinary approach that blends political theory, history, anthropology, and sociology. The book builds on a synthesis of historical cases and theoretical insights, primarily focusing on the emergence of institutions in different civilizations, including those of China, Europe, and the Middle East. Fukuyama proposes that political order can only be understood through a long historical lens, emphasizing the importance of state building, the rule of law, and the development of accountable government. The stages of political development. Fukuyama identifies three major stages of political development. 1. State formation. The creation of a state capable of maintaining order and providing security is the first step toward political order. Early societies had no formalized government structures, and authority was often decentralized, fragmented, or built around kinship ties. As societies grew in size and complexity, the need for a more centralized authority became apparent. The formation of the state involved the development of bureaucratic structures and the monopoly of legitimate violence, which allowed rulers to enforce laws and maintain social stability. 2. Rule of law. The next stage of political development involves the establishment of a system of laws that applies equally to all citizens, including the rulers. Fukuyama argues that societies that developed the rule of law were better able to maintain political order and avoid the collapse of their institutions. The creation of impartial legal systems, where no individual is above the law, is a significant achievement in the historical evolution of political order. 3. Accountable government. The final stage in Fukuyama's framework is the creation of political institutions that hold the government accountable to the people. This means developing mechanisms to check the power of rulers, ensuring that political leaders are held accountable for their actions, and establishing democratic practices such as free elections and participation in decision-making. This stage is crucial for the long-term stability of political systems, as it helps prevent corruption and abuse of power. The role of social trust. One of the key concepts explored by Fukuyama is the idea of social trust. He argues that the development of political order is deeply linked to the level of trust within a society. In societies with high levels of social trust, individuals are more likely to cooperate and follow rules, which makes the functioning of political institutions easier. Social trust can arise from shared cultural values, experiences, and practices, and it provides a foundation for the creation of political order. Fukuyama distinguishes between two types of trust: generalized trust, trust between strangers, and particularized trust, trust within small, close-knit groups. Generalized trust is essential for the creation of a state with a functioning bureaucracy and legal system. In contrast, particularized trust tends to keep political power within small groups, which can lead to corruption and political instability. For Fukuyama, political order in modern societies requires the replacement of particularized trust with generalized trust, which fosters a more inclusive, effective, and impartial political system. The evolution of political institutions. Fukuyama uses the examples of several countries to illustrate his arguments. One of the central comparisons is between Europe and China. He argues that while European states were successful in developing robust institutions based on the rule of law and accountability, China followed a different trajectory. In China, political development was more centralized and bureaucratic, with a strong imperial state that maintained order but did not evolve toward democracy. Fukuyama suggests that the absence of strong institutions of accountability in China led to a more autocratic political system, which prevented the development of a stable democratic order in the country. Another significant example is the contrast between Europe and the Middle East. Fukuyama explains that while the Middle Eastern empires of the past were advanced in many respects, they failed to develop the kinds of political institutions that promoted the rule of law and accountability. One reason for this failure, according to Fukuyama, is the centrality of religion in political life. In many parts of the Middle East, religious institutions and political power were deeply intertwined, making it difficult to create the kind of secular institutions that allowed for the development of accountable government. Fukuyama's argument suggests that the separation of religious and political authority in Europe was a key factor in its political development. The importance of the military. Fukuyama also emphasizes the role of the military in the creation of political order. He argues that the state's ability to create and maintain a monopoly on the use of force is essential for political stability. The state must be able to protect its citizens from external threats and enforce its laws internally. However, Fukuyama also warns that the military can be a double-edged sword. While the development of a strong military is necessary for state building, it can also be a source of instability if the military becomes too powerful or becomes involved in politics. Military coups and the establishment of military dictatorships have been recurring themes in the history of many developing nations. Political order and modern challenges. Fukuyama argues that understanding the historical evolution of political order can provide valuable insights into modern political challenges. The book explores the difficulties faced by modern societies in creating and maintaining stable political institutions. One of the central themes is the issue of state capacity, the ability of the government to effectively deliver public goods, enforce laws, and maintain order. Fukuyama notes that many countries in the developing world suffer from weak states that are unable to provide security or create functioning institutions. In these cases, political order is fragile, and the risk of violence, instability, and corruption is high. Fukuyama also addresses the rise of tribalism and ethnic divisions in many societies. He warns that the failure to develop inclusive institutions that transcend ethnic and tribal divisions can lead to violent conflict and the breakdown of political order. The challenge, he suggests, is to create a political order that incorporates all groups in society and ensures that political power is shared fairly. In The Origins of Political Order, Fukuyama provides a detailed and nuanced account of how political institutions developed over time. His analysis of state formation, the rule of law, and accountable government offers important insights into the challenges that contemporary societies face in maintaining political stability. By exploring the historical examples of Europe, China, and the Middle East, Fukuyama shows that political development is a complex and multifaceted process shaped by a variety of factors, including social trust, military power, and the ability to balance centralized and decentralized authority. The book emphasizes the importance of strong institutions and accountability in the creation of political order. Fukuyama's argument that political development is a long-term, gradual process underscores the complexity of achieving stable and just political systems. Ultimately, the book is a powerful reminder of the importance of institutional development in creating the conditions for peace, prosperity, and social cohesion.